Welcome to another episode of the Brothers Watch. We finally watched Sinners. We're going to rate it and review it right now. We are a little late to the party on this one.
Yeah, we are.
Somehow, we didn't see this in theaters. Ben, you didn't see this in theaters either, right?
I did not.
You saw it before all of us. So we finally watched this. We got a lot to say. Let's rate it first. Okay. Ben, out of 10, what would you rank this movie?
8.6. I liked it.
That's pretty high. That's good.
I would give it an 8.7. I had a fun time with it. Tony?
I mean, if I could rate different acts of it, it would be probably more fair. And I think the hype hurt it before I watched it.
I think so.
So I'm going to give it a 7.8.
Okay.
Sorry.
Jeff?
I'm with Tony. I think the hype I went in with such high expectations. Same. And it wasn't bad. I didn't dislike it, but I just didn't think it was all that good. So I think I'll go like 7.4.
Okay.
Since you brought up acts, I just have to ask, would you rate the last act the lowest?
No.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So I was talking to Joey off camera about this, and there's a popular meme for any movie, but it's like this majestic horse broken down, and the acts are evenly divided above it. Mm-hmm. First act.
Yeah. And that's like the one of them pencil drawn.
Right.
Yeah.
And then middle act, beefy, a little bit better. And then the last act, majestic mane flowing in the wind.
That's interesting.
Personal.
Yeah, I feel the opposite.
I
thought the last 20 minutes were by far.
The last 20 I loved. I didn't like the 20 before that. I loved the beginning.
Yeah.
I hated the beginning.
Really? Yeah. I thought the world building, like the scene they were throwing you in, the world they were putting you in, felt very real, lived in.
The buildup of them as villains, I think they crushed that.
I agree.
I didn't say it was poorly done. I just didn't like it.
I liked that.
It was boring.
I liked the aura that they were bringing up with the twins. There was a history there. You were kind of learning as they went through town because people were kind of fearful of them.
You didn't really even get a good understanding of what that was until halfway through the second act.
Yeah, but that was it was you continued to grow and learn. Like you saw them shopping for things in the town, and everybody knew who they were. Everybody knew who they were, whether they respected them or feared them or
right.
both.
No, I get it.
I enjoyed learning that. Personally, I could have gone for more of it.
No.
Let's talk about the things we liked.
Okay,
Ben, what were some of the things that you really liked about it?
I loved Michael B. Jordan. I think he played off being a twin really, really well in that movie. He threw me off a lot where I had a hard time keeping up with who was who throughout the film,
really?
Between Smoke and Stack.
Yeah, I completely agree. And when I went back and saw the behind the scenes, they did a very intentional job of trying to highlight their features differently.
Color coordinating.
Right. But I would have liked it more, and it probably would have been impossible to film it this way. But if one of them had a gnarly scar across their face or something to really distinguish, because dude, and I am not going to lie, the first 20 minutes I was not connected. I was very passively watching it. But I thought Smoke was with Haley's character. And I was like, this man's about to his brother's girl?
No. Smoke knew better.
Well, no, I know Smoke was with the other girl, and Stack was with her the whole time. But when they were going off to sneak away, I thought that was the other brother. And I was I had to go back and I rewatched it, and I understand now, but
I had such a different reaction to them. I really thought that most of the time when you have one actor playing multiple characters, for me, I can't get into it. I feel
most of the time it's not the same person.
But you know what I mean? Yeah, but for this, I was like, oh, they're doing such a good job.
No, they did a great job. I thought they did a
showing
good job.
me completely different. I was looking at Smoke and I was like, oh, that is clearly a different person than Stack. They were doing such a good job with that for me. Maybe it was the colors that I just threw in my face.
They did do
even
a good
the
job.
way they acted
Especially the way they acted.
Yeah,
I feel like their responses to
job.
everything would give a good indication of who was who.
Yeah, and
no, absolutely, I agree.
He acting wise, that's one of my top things for this is it's so well acted, and I think it's really well written, except for maybe one or two parts I really wasn't a fan of. But I mean, yeah, I thought it felt lived in. It felt really real, and obviously there's some real historical aspects to it that make it feel extra that way. But I mean, yeah, I really enjoyed the characters themselves.
Music tied in well to that too.
I agree. Tony, what were some of the things that you really liked about it?
The story building, the world building was great. I think period pieces can either be really well or correctly done and poorly done. I think it was done very well. I think even the little things in the character development and the world building scenes was really well done. Even small details like when I think it's Smoke. Yeah, it's Smoke who's asking the girl to watch the van, and then he like negotiates against himself.
I love that.
To like empower her and like kind of leave her with a lesson. I think that was great. I think when you guys touched on it, there are character differences where Stack is flamboyant, like very smooth talking, very outgoing, very like almost naive sometimes, very like positive, versus Smoke's character who is the protector, the vigilant, the more jaded version. And that is throughout their whole life, right? Like Smoke protected Stack from their father.
Yep.
Smoke protected Stack in every aspect of his life. And when he couldn't protect him at the end, he still protected him.
Yeah.
And even you could even argue that he knew Stack was still in the house and he waited for the Klansmen to come, and that was his last stand to protect his brother, because he was still in there. The sun rose. He couldn't have left. So
That's true.
you know, and I think that was a really good kind of like, and it also relates back to their names, right? Their real names. Help me.
Elijah and Elias.
Elias is the one I couldn't remember. Yeah. And the Bible stories, that's very common. I mean, very similar kind of representation of who they were in the Bible. Elijah was a very talkative, outgoing prophet type person, where Elijah was more of a let my, the wrath of God speak through me type, God of hand of God type thing. Thought it was great. I loved all that. I thought they did a really good job at showing the racial tension, cultural appropriation in a way that wasn't like, it didn't drive the whole narrative of the movie. So whether you are interested in seeing that in cinema or not, you could enjoy this movie. I think they did a phenomenal job at making it kind of, there was underlying themes of it. There was blatant themes of it. Mm-hmm. And I think they did a phenomenal job at showing that. I think the end scene where Smoke is taking his retribution on the Klans member, bro. I like eating that, dude. I could have done 20 more minutes of that scene alone, like slow kill. Like, oh my God.
I think what you're saying about the brothers too, which by the way, I saw behind the scenes part with this, and they were like intentionally trying to show, Stack he smiled through his pain.
Right.
Whereas Smoke was the opposite, where he was very jaded, like you said, and he took his pain that way.
Yeah. Even when he was talking about his dad beating him, he's like, he didn't mean it.
Yeah, exactly. And there's just like, he's such a good actor to the point where he was able to kind of emote those emotions properly for you to really believe it. And maybe because like, I have a brother, and I'm like very into that.
You have a brother?
Yeah, right. So it's like I when I was watching this movie, I felt super drawn to their connection, and so seeing their connection like that, I felt their emotions through that. Like, okay, how would I feel in this situation if this happened to my brother? That type of thing.
Yeah.
And so it was very up until the end, very, very emotional and cool for me. I really enjoyed that.
Yes,
that resonated with me as well. Everything Michael B. Jordan, I feel like everything that he's been at the top of his game. So I'm happy with him being like phenomenal. A lead in this, but I do wish they had more of what was it, Sammy? It's been a couple months.
Yeah, Sammy.
Sammy.
Yeah.
They should have had more of Sammy.
It's interesting because he's like
he really is the main character.
The main character, but he's not the focal point of the lens at all times. It's really
at no
cool
times.
They showed it,
and it's very like. There's so much like layered in this movie where his character is kind of at the center of, whether it be the dilemma of going with his father's wishes and staying in the church versus, invoking the sinner lifestyle of the blues, jazz music theme. And then also on top of the fact that his ability to play music in a way that can combine now and future and past ancestral ties, which is why he's wanted by the vampires and what draws him there. All of that is very layered. And again, he's not the focal point of the movie, which is very interesting.
Yeah, I feel like they lean more into the route of, because it's Michael B. Jordan, he's a star. So they want to give him a depth to his character, and it's Smoke, I think, right? That had the his wife, and they lost the baby.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that was a huge, like at the end, it was gratifying to see him get to be with them.
Yeah.
But I do think they should have leaned mostly into Sammy's story overall.
Yeah.
It's interesting that Smoke didn't even want him to continue playing music.
Right. He said, that. Go,
Yeah,
don't
go
stay in this
to
life.
Mount Bayou and
Right.
don't keep playing. I'll kill you if you keep playing.
Right. Yep. And then I think, again, his music is again underlined at the kind of the center of all this stuff. I think one of the kind of, this might not be as underlined as I thought it was when I first watched it, but I watched it again. And I was like, this is kind of obvious, where the white people come, vampires, come, and they're like, they want his music.
Yeah.
And his blues,
His stories.
music, right? So that they can connect with their ancestors, because he can no longer connect with them, right?
Okay.
I think that is a metaphor for white people appropriating black music for their own gain, right? Because when this music was coming out in the 50s and the 40s, it was not accepted because it was black artists doing it. And then they would have white people come in and do very similar music, and then it would get popular. And then that kind of like is what brought it to the mainstream.
Jeff was mentioning that earlier today. Okay, so
It's
you got the
super
same
layered.
thing out of
it's
it.
super layered. And then you can even go further into it, whereas like white people's monetary attention towards music, like they wanted the white people to come in because they needed their money, right? At the end of it. They're like, we're not going to make our nut hero. We need to bring these white people in because they'll bring money.
Yeah, yeah.
White people's influence monetarily and like black rap is what made it boom, because it wasn't getting any traction beyond the black community.
So when Vanilla Ice did his thing.
No. I'm saying when white kids were like, holy rap is sick.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's flood it. They're giving their money. So it's just another kind of metaphor of that.
Okay, I see.
I thought they did a really good job of showing it without it being like narrative driving.
Yeah.
The movie was still entertaining.
It was subtle enough.
Right, where you could just watch it and be like, oh, this is a period piece
So
showing. Yeah.
I took it, and maybe this can piggyback off what you're saying. But I took it as like it's literally soul. Like it's the reason that music, like when they have the initial opening with the narrator and they're talking about how the music can attract this type of evil. I see what you're saying now. I thought that it was like specifically because vampires or these evil entities don't have a soul or have a lack thereof, and they find this soulful music, and that's what attracts them to it, and they want to take that soul for their own, even though it's not going to end up being like fulfilling.
Sure.
Everything they take is not fulfilling, but they're still trying to take that soul from Sammy. Personally, I'll get into that with some of the things I didn't like, actually. But yeah, that's really what I took for it. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, no.
I enjoyed that.
They also made it seem like when the jig is up, they know they're vampires, and they're trying to convince them in each individual way to join them. They are implying that, because the main character, the vampire, he's Irish, and the Irish were invaded by Great Britain, and they were persecuted for 800 years, the potato famine, all that. When they came to America, they weren't even seen as white people. They were lower class individuals, not like any other minority race was, but they were definitely persecuted. So his hatred of racism is real. It's not a show to garner their sympathy and join them. That's real. The guy is almost endearing, the vampire, because
Yeah, I mean, it's his goal.
But I think it's genuine. I think he hates racism. I think he hates bigots like he portrays to, because as an Irish person in that time frame in America, he was bigoted.
That's an
against.
interesting point.
And so he's
I thought everything was
projecting-
just a facade for him. I thought
No, I
like
think-
the face he's wearing is fake.
Well, I think it could be interpreted either way too, and that's why
Yeah.
I guess maybe that character was written pretty well.
I like
Yeah.
what you're saying.
But
I think that's good.
Every other character that turned still was their genuine self. They just had this underlying agenda.
I don't know if it's
Well,
like
when Homegirl sees Annie get killed, she's devastated because now she knows that she can't join them in their afterlife.
yeah.
So he's portraying this, and I think it's genuine. But obviously, he's also projecting this image of join us, you'll be free. We don't see color. It's all this wonderfulness. We're all one big family. Doesn't matter your race or your ethnicity, whatever. But that in and of itself is, again, kind of whitewashing everything else. I mean,
Yeah.
it's obvious when he's having this whole black community dance to an Irish song, and they're dancing like white people would be dancing. And that is showing, at least in my interpretation, the whitewashing of that culture.
And what do they whisper to Cornbread when they're trying to attract him? Fellowship and love.
Right,
They keep
exactly.
whispering it over and over
Right,
again.
because that again, and that's what again, and this is another layer of am I monologuing?
No, I love it.
Another layer of just like when Christianity was being spread or forced on other cultures, it was the same kind of concept. Join us in freedom and love and happiness, and you'll be accepted no matter what. But it's still being forced. Now you're being part of this new subset of culture. It was very layered, and I thought it was very well done.
I
And
agree. I think it's
I normally don't care for that so much in cinema. I normally watch these movies to kind of escape like heavy thoughts, but I thought they did a great job of showing the way cultural appropriation really is happening.
Yeah.
Happened.
It was an interesting vehicle to do it too with vampires.
For sure.
So I think it was
sure.
ambitious, and I think I can credit the subtlety too of the message that you and I guess both picked up on. But
For sure.
I guess if we're going to dislikes,
well.
Yeah.
Let's. Can I give one more thing that I liked?
Please.
It's a very simple like, but I really enjoyed a different take on vampires because I think vampires can be cool, but most of the time I'm just out because it seems like it's always this medieval film that has this gray filter on it and it's kind of boring and dark. And this is like a whole different take. It's in the 30s, but it feels fresh. It feels a little bit new. And having them play in that type of scenario rather than in a medieval scenario is really cool to me. And then I wish that they would have done even more with that, to be honest with you. So let's jump a little bit more into our dislikes. Jeff, you want to start us off with that?
I liked the different take on vampires too, because I feel like, well, I guess for a different reason. I don't always see the medieval times setting. It's mostly like
You don't like the twinkle?
the twinkle,
Yeah.
the twinkle in their eye.
Yeah. Robert Pattinson. No, the twinkle.
Oh,
in
yeah,
his,
yeah,
his
no,
skin.
no.
Dude, I don't know what you're talking about.
You never got into that.
I totally disagree with everything you're saying.
Because of Twilight?
Yeah, I feel
No.
like they always try to make like vampires hot and like it's a sexual
Blade.
thing.
It's not filmed with a gray filter. Everything it looks like Resident Evil.
I think you're
or it
thinking
looks
of
like
Nosferatu. That might be recent.
yeah, dude.
I'm talking about Van Helsing. I'm talking about Nosferatu. I'm talking about
Dracula, like
all
the
that.
old yeah, but
It's all the same period.
It's just though that these vampires.
they fall into every vampire trope that's ever been in cinema.
But not
garlic,
this.
silver, wood steaks.
right. But this is a whole different type of take where you're.
This movie is exactly like Dawn of the Dead, which is a vampire movie.
I haven't seen Dawn of the Dead, so I could be
Anyways.
wrong.
You need to see that. Anyways, go ahead, Ben.
No. Jeff was starting.
Oh, sorry, Jeff.
No, you're good. I just didn't think these vampires were imposing. Really, they set it up to make it so. But then at the end, like once the action starts, I mean, what were the stakes? No pun intended. But like, what were the stakes?
They were all going to die.
Death?
They weren't gonna die though. They were gonna get to live forever.
But it's the same
Well,
vampire story. Yeah,
Not all
you're
of
dead.
them.
You're a vampire.
So Stack and Haley Steinfeld's character, you thought that was like a bad ending? For them?
Yeah. They're not really them.
They got to do what they wanted to do though. They got to live forever.
Interesting view on
Yeah,
this.
I think it's. I don't think so because they even explain that their soul is trapped and the
It's not
entity
trapped,
in
though.
them.
All you got to do is
No, the entity in them has their memories, but it's not really them.
Yeah, they're just
you're-
they're just a vessel.
Yeah, you're like forever trapped
okay. But
in your
then
body.
why didn't they kill Sammy?
Because he,
Because he
could-
told him not
Promised
to.
Yeah,
But then that's them though.
but not really.
Because the
I think
entity-
Jeff's right about that.
Okay, I think it's a testament to the bond between Smoke and Stack that even
So
through
he remained,
that,
though. He remained.
but just he's so strong that even through that horrible thing, he couldn't bring himself to.
And who couldn't he bring?
Smoke couldn't bring himself to kill Stack, and Stack was able to penetrate through that in just a small degree, in my opinion.
I think you're
to
reading
hold
into
back.
it too much. Maybe you think I am, but
No, but
I just
Jeff's right. They were still themselves. They had their same memories and feelings and likes and dislikes and
but they're not able to
honored
control.
somebody's wish.
But they are still the living dead, and the plight of vampires is still upon them.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
They'll never be satiated. They'll never be fully content or happy.
they looked kind of happy to me.
Yeah, I mean, they did look pretty happy.
They were making happen.
I wish
But
I was at Lollipop. I'll tell you that.
I say this is a perfect movie for Tony.
No, I am not gonna lie. I hated her acting in this movie.
Yeah, I mean,
really, I thought she was good in it.
Yeah, I thought she sucked as much as her husband sucks at playing football.
Well, my last comment on my dislikes, I didn't like how everybody when they were all really smart about not leaving, not going out to the vampires, and then they would just one by one. Okay, well I got to go get the car. I'll be right back. oh, I got to go out here. I got to go out here. And then they're all just vampires huddling up on this house.
I mean, I don't think they were fully aware of what was happening.
Yeah, I don't think anybody left once.
Like when
They
each
knew
person
something
walked
was up
up.
with cornbread, and then they still go outside trying to like, all right, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
We got to get home.
But each person that walked up, though, they don't have like that visible marker on them. Like they're not showing them bleeding. They just look like their normal self.
They're
Yeah.
also like not in a situation where they fully believe and know about vampires, and so they're
Thank God that lady was there.
Yeah,
I mean,
truly,
she
'cause they
guesses
all are
wrong.
screwed.
She guesses wrong at first, though.
Yeah. But I have one more really thing I liked a lot.
That's fine. Dive into that
when
then
the
we can
aspect
dislike.
ratio changed,
I love
bro,
that.
I'm so glad that I was really tuned in that moment because that was epically good.
It was
when
so good.
The barn doors open, they're all coming in. we're about to
Transitions
fight.
are really good.
Yeah,
throughout the
I'm not
film.
gonna lie. The fight was kind of deflating for me. I didn't think it was that great.
I agree.
But holy, okay, I did not like. This is a very small thing. At the end, when Smoke is accepting his fate and kind of dying,
Yeah.
but did she have to be breastfeeding?
Yeah, that's fair.
I was taken aback. It really took me out of the moment because I was like, whoa. And I get it. It's part of it. Motherhood and all, great. But like, couldn't she just be holding the baby? Like, God, that thing was just, woo! I got
Out
85-inch TV. That's just bigger than my head. You know, I was like, damn. Yeah. Anyway, beyond that, there was a nice metaphor in that scene. I'll wait till you stop laughing to hit you with it. So, Smoke is smoking a cigarette, right? Mm-hmm. And she's like, you got to put that out. I don't want to get smoke on the baby. Metaphorically speaking, his persona of Smoke is now dying.
I love that.
And now you, Elijah, are coming
Yes.
to hold this baby.
I thought that was great.
Also, the fact that his war trimmers prevented him from ever rolling his own cigarettes. That's why he couldn't roll it. And Stack was always the one
cool.
rolling his cigarettes. Yeah. And then he seen that he was smoking and Stack wasn't there. It was a pipe.
Yeah.
Very nice little kind of tie-in of continuous universe building. I loved it.
Ben, what are some things that you didn't like?
Maybe I didn't understand the scene as fully as I should have. I don't know when Sammy is playing and you start to see the barn burn. Is that all like a dream for him? Is it like a dream for like Remick? Like because
Oh no, I think it's showing that Remick can see through.
But I guess my confusion is if this movie is supposed to be a period piece, why is a DJ shown in the barn?
Oh, that
So,
part, yeah.
Like the modern aspects of that. I guess that's where my confusion lies.
the narrator in the beginning and the narration during that scene are right during that scene is talking about there's certain people that are put on this earth that have the ability to bridge the gap between ancestors, current individuals, and future individuals. At first, I was with you. I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
You know, but then I was kind of looking at it more from a worldview, objectively taking myself out of it. I thought it was really well done. It kind of pushed the boundaries of what you typically see in movies. It was at first very kind of off brand of the movie because it's such a timepiece movie that why is there a DJ? Why is there a guy with an electric guitar? But then it kind of all came full circle, and it even had the Asian heritage and the African heritage, and then the future 60s, 70s, 80s, even up into the 90s, like the Run DMC, the white tees and the DJs, and like you had the underlying Eazy-E songs that were in there. I thought it was amazing in retrospect. In the moment, I was like, this is odd, but it was very well done.
I
don't know about the burning. I thought that was weird.
The burning, I thought was literally, I thought it was just him, Remick or whatever his name is, being able to look through and see everything that he wanted.
It had to be more metaphorical.
Maybe. As far as the music goes and like the future and the past, like I think it was cool and I understand what they're trying to do. And so that is really artistic and really cool. It's the only part of the movie that like I was taken out of. Like I actually thought about, oh, I'm watching this movie. This is what everything else flowed so perfectly. So I could see how it's an artistic choice and it's really neat and how people would love it. It was like not my favorite thing. But
Only other thing that didn't land for me, and again, maybe I don't know guns as well as maybe you guys do or picked up on it, but it felt like the pistols he was shooting were really modern pistols. And I might be wrong, but like when he opens the trunk at the end of the movie, those all feel like time period accurate. Like he has the bar rifle, He has the Tommy gun.
Yep.
Like all of that looks right. But whenever he pulls out both pistols to shoot Haley Steinfeld, I don't know. They just look really modern to me.
Yeah, I mean, it was, what, 1930?
1932, I think, for the movie.
I think the
Or
Colt
33.
1911 is called that because that's when it was made.
Is that what he was? Is that what he had?
I think so. But I'm gonna
Interesting.
fact check myself. Stack, he was carrying it looked like a Luger.
Yeah, I think I read that.
That was very time sensitive or time period, and also the Tommy gun was very well put because it was implied that they worked for Al Capone
Which was
in
so
Chicago. Yeah, would love that.
Those were my two things. I think the biggest one was just not, I guess, understanding the jump in history for music and culture in the barn.
Yeah, it's called the 1911 because that's when it was put into production.
Wow.
And it looks just like that.
Yeah, it
Wow.
looks- yeah.
Which is, again, I thought pretty badass that they were in the trenches in Germany. And,
I thought it was sick.
Bro, I could have, Michael B. Jordan can gung fu for real. He's a bad
I think the only thing that I would say dislike for me, it's not really a dislike so much as I just wanted more of. I really could have gone for a little bit more into the, like in the beginning when you get the Native Americans that are chasing the
the
vampire.
Choctaws.
I could have loved a little bit more of their storyline, like bring in the more of the spiritual aspect about them versus the vampires. That could have been really cool. Selfishly, because I really did enjoy a lot of the characters in the movie, I would have loved for them to not kill off Smoke. They
had to.
I know I can understand that, but like, what if you had like a sequel with them, with Smoke talking to those Native Americans, and you're trying to figure out how to hunt down the rest of those vampires?
No, I
something like
agree.
That could have been sick. But if we're not gonna get that, dude, give me a prequel. Give me
Not
Smoke
every
and Stack.
movie
I know,
needs a
but I would
sequel.
love to see a
I love the-
prequel with Smoke and Stack running for Al Capone. That would be
Or
sick.
they could do a spinoff where it's Stack and Homegirl as vampires.
I know.
That's like a Blade origin story waiting to happen.
I know, but then it's like we're going with the antagonist where I would rather see the two brothers again running
antagonist.
for Al Capone,
It's
brother.
an original film. There's no IP for it.
I understand. I know my truth.
It was very original.
yeah.
I was just gonna say that I think Smoke's character had a good
100%.
Yeah.
good arc and conclusion, and
But
I think
what
it
if
made the characters.
Him taking off the mojo bag and then I love that. Also, really quick. There's a thread out there on Reddit saying that where he got shot was indicative of where Jesus was stabbed with the spear on the cross to give that kind of full circle religion tie-in. And also, again, dude, Sammy's arc, insanely good.
I thought he was going to stay at church, and then he ends up.
Yeah, so did I. He said,
Oh, dude.
And again, metaphorically speaking, he used this instrument that was his entry level into sin and what brought all this together to finally kill the main bad guy. And it was very metaphoric. There were so many layers to it. I thought it was genius.
Movie making wise, you knew I was going to come back to this. The amount of practical effects used in this, I love.
Yeah, dude.
I love.
They literally cloned Michael B. Jordan.
I love that they had all the prosthetics with the with the vampires. That was so cool to see. The
blood
eyes
was good.
bro. The eyes, real contacts.
Yep.
They actually had the contacts that were inspired by how when you shine a light in an animal's eye, it shows.
What's that?
No,
I heard it like 8 times in the behind the scenes stuff.
I know,
can't
I
remember
forgot. But like, I thought that was really cool that you really had the red and you had the green contacts. You had all of the
Purple.
the prosthetics from them getting all jacked up from
Yeah.
getting shot. Yeah, I just think that it was a very well-made movie, and seeing some of the behind the scenes from this, it makes me happy for movie making going forward. And I like
what's his name? Cool.
Ryan Coogler.
Dude, he knows his.
No, I know. It's
I watched him
awesome.
explaining the difference between film and IMAX and like aspect ratios.
Disney's trying to get him to do Star Wars.
That's interesting.
You didn't hear that quote
No, I
from
didn't
Kathleen
see that.
Kennedy?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, she had said one of the hard parts that they have in Star Wars is getting directors to feel like they can do a Star Wars film and still like make it their own, still like
wonder why.
their creativity.
Yeah, I wonder
Yeah,
why.
that's another rabbit hole though.
Yeah, but so interestingly enough, I found out that Ryan Coogler graduated with a degree in finance, which is really interesting. And I'm gonna fudge the numbers here, but he has a deal with, I believe this was Warner Brothers, and he has a deal where he's going to get this IP back to him solely in so many years. So he releases under their studio, and after so many years, he gets all the rights back to it. And I think he's doing that with a decent bit of his films. So, I mean,
Really, you could do a spinoff too without it having to be regarding vampires, because it's just Sinners. That's what. If
Yeah.
you wanted to do the Capone backstory with Smoke and Stack, I could see that being like a TV show on something.
yeah.
For sure. Yeah, everybody in this movie is a sinner.
I wonder if I'm sure they will. You think they're gonna do vampires for the next Sinners? Or
I don't know. I don't know if there will be another.
I
About
don't
the-
think there will be another.
Oh, he's definitely gonna. Why would he want the rights to it?
I don't know. But all I know is that he's a smart businessman and he's a good filmmaker. So
What else
I'm
did he
I'm
do? He
enjoying-
did Black Panther?
Yeah, he's done Black
Did
Panther
you do
too.
Fruitvale Station?
Yeah, that's the one. He did Fruitvale Station.
So
He
yeah.
did something else, didn't he? You looking it up? Which Black Panther did he do? The first one?
Both.
He did Creed.
Creed. That's
Oh wow.
yeah. The girl that did the set design and costume design, she's the first African American woman to win an Oscar for it, and she's probably gonna win the Oscar for it for this one too,
That's pretty cool.
because she killed
Oh yeah.
the time area, like the costumes and the background, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
I love timepieces for that, especially this time period. Thought it was amazing.
Yeah, if it's done as well as this, it's hard to beat.
Also, I love that guy. I forget his name.
Delta Slim.
Delta Slim, dude. I love him.
He was great in
Yes. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was a vampire there, and when they were doing the
They were kind of
test from the thing, you know. But I was like, dude, this guy's great. I love him.
They kind of set it up to make you think that though, because he said he used to have a girlfriend that was a vampire.
Yeah.
And
I
I got
was-
pinned everywhere above my neck.
Also, really quick, I know this is getting. If you guys haven't seen the movie Life, you really need to see Life.
Okay.
Life is
Space movie with Jake Gyllenhaal.
No. It's Eddie
Todd.
Murphy and Martin Lawrence in the same time period, who are basically the same exact character that Delta Slim is describing when his friend got killed. They're moonshine runners during Prohibition. They get arrested by a crooked cop who steals their money and blames a murder on them that they didn't do. They get life in prison, and it's all about their story on this prison camp working. It's like, it's black. It's a black theme movie. Eddie Murphy's in it, Bernie Mac's in it, Martin Lawrence is in it. And it's just their whole story there. And it's a comedy, but it's like real world comedy sort of. And it is like that movie.
I forgot
And
all about this movie.
It's so good. Yeah, highly, highly, highly suggest watching Life. It's so good. And it's just like this movie. It's like this movie and From Dawn Till Dusk combine into this movie. Both of those movies are great. I
Till
can't
Dawn. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. That's
because it's the same, vampires attacking people locked in a bar. Anyway, onward.
Okay, well, let's button it up with this. Do you recommend this to someone to watch? It's on streaming right now. You can watch it on Prime or you can watch it on HBO. Jeff.
Yeah, I would recommend it. I maybe not watch it with the family, but
Yeah.
watch what you're watching around.
Yeah,
but
dude, the sexual stuff in this is so random. and
it's vampires.
very inappropriate for the movie's whole theme, I think.
Yeah, well, I guess even
Like,
outside of
bro,
vampires.
some of the things
Never
they
mind.
say-
Yeah, no, you're right.
Super inappropriate.
Tongue bunch.
Yeah. I highly recommend this movie. I think it's a great movie, especially if you're trying to be introspective and get a good idea of what historical plights certain individuals suffered through. I think it's phenomenal for that.
I'm 100% with that. Yeah, I definitely recommend.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I would say like 80-90% of the movie is really good for me.
Yeah.
Cool.
89. Love it.
All right. If you haven't already, like this video, subscribe for more content.
Hi.
We'll see you in the Discord and we'll see you in the next episode.